Welcome back to the Bassline podcast. Our guest this week is Gyasi. What's going on, Gyasi?
What's up? What's up?
Welcome.
It's like I know y'all already.
Don't hold it against us.
It's a little bit like that.
Yeah. So I'm glad we could get you out. What have you been working on lately?
Well, some sleep mostly.
Yeah.
But other than that,
Does that help you, DJ?
actually, yeah, you
How
know.
does that help?
Oh man. Well, I don't know. Actually, I haven't been working on too much of anything, but working on my computer so that whenever I do need to make music or have the desire, everything's there. Just I guess I'm working on a flow chart because I've run into some issues with the way that I worked before, and so that's kind of what I've been doing.
Adjusting the setup.
Yeah, well, my workflow really about how I go about producing.
Right on.
We kind of jumped into this like real quick.
Yeah, we did.
We're right on it.
Should we baby step in it? Or?
I know.
Well,
right?
we can.
He's like, this is all we want to know about you. Nothing else in the
Well,
show.
tell us about
Thank you.
what you do.
Yeah.
What kind of setup do you work with?
I work with a PC, of course, Cubase 7.5, Machine 2.1, Native Instruments, Complete Ultimate,
Nice.
the newest one. What else do I use? SoundForge for all my editing, and I hope they all pay me for this.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, you said a PC, of course. That's
Non-Mac.
I know, which seems different to me from what most.
Well, I worked in IT, so
Oh, okay.
I'm
So you have-
familiar with both Mac and PC.
Or you prefer
and
using a PC?
prefer using PC because of the control that I can give it
Oh, okay.
versus what it comes with.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's either you're either PC or Mac. You know, nobody's ever in between. It's kind of interesting. I'm definitely a Mac guy. But
Now, if they had
Right.
two buttons on their mouse at the beginning, I might have went Mac.
That was tricky, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Then the pad thing with the controls.
love
that
the pad.
I can't
I
even
love the
work it
pad.
out. I can't figure it out. I don't know. I can't remember that much stuff.
Well, and,
Just to work my mouse, I don't need to know all that.
Right.
and I mean, a lot of it, I think, probably gets into the gaming side of it too. Like, if you play a lot of games, you're probably going to be a PC person.
Definitely.
Like,
I agree with that.
Nothing like SimCity 4.
Yeah, you need the mouse and the keys all.
Yeah.
Mm.
And apparently a powerful computer,
Right. Yeah, you get to pick your specs being PC.
mostly. Yeah. Well, your budget does, and people don't really think about that.
Yeah, that's a
That's
very
a
good
good
point. Yeah.
So how did you get into music?
Oh, this is
We're taking it back now.
Oh, wow.
well, I was always into music. I remember being a kid. You know how they always say never leave your kids in the car when
Right.
you go out? Oh, I was that kid that was always left in the car with the windows down, listening to my grandfather's jazz tapes while he went to Builder Square.
I
The
remember
one that used to
Builder
be out
Square.
on by the airport.
Yes, yeah.
And I was sitting there for hours just listening to jazz tapes like Mingus and Monk and just whatever he had.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, in a Nova, Chevy Nova. I
Wow.
see it driving around. Someone bought it and they're still driving it around. It's pretty funny.
That is funny. Wow.
Yeah.
If
Well-
they only knew.
What
I
was
know.
your What was your introduction to house music?
My introduction to house music, man, believe it or not, I was listening to it my whole life and didn't know what it was. I always
Oh,
thought
yeah?
I thought it was black music because, you know, it was on BET and, you know, you had like Robin Ness and CeCe Peniston and, you know, Sounds of Blackness and, you know, other artists that I just thought, whoa, this is just regular BET music.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until I went to, well, actually, I was listening to EOI a long time ago, and they had like this, they would play like Morrissey and all that stuff, which I also love. And then like at 5 o'clock in the morning, I had this ambient set that I just fell in love with when I fell in love with Global Communications. And then I went to Germany looking for techno, and, you know, I found it. Really wasn't a lot of house over there that I could find. And then when I came back, I got this Danny Rambling CD.
Okay.
And that's when I actually knew that there is an actual genre of this music that I really like.
How old were you then?
14.
14.
Wow.
Man, I wish I would have gotten into it so young.
Yep. I remember making mixtapes by the stop and record for like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm supposed to be in school or getting ready for school, sleep. Nah, this music was where it was at.
Oh, from the radio?
Mhm.
I remember doing that too.
Yep.
Man,
I just started
mixtapes.
right at the beginning of the song and then
Mixtapes were the thing. You know, it's like now if you made a mixtape, for somebody back in the day, it was like that meant something because they put in a lot of time and effort into it. Nowadays, somebody makes you like a CD or just gives you like
They
a
just download
playlist.
it.
Drag and
It's
drop.
like
right.
it's like whatever. It doesn't mean shit to me
Doesn't-
anymore.
yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's funny to me that you're saying though that you thought it was just black music. That's how a lot of it started, really, right?
Yeah, it did.
I mean, it
And-
totally was.
And being from Tulsa, it didn't reflect that. Especially when I started DJing, and it in school when I would listen to it, I was not frowned upon, but people looked at me like, "Oh, this is a weirdo. This is a Uncle Tom." Pretty much, they would call me. Well, this is when I transferred from Bishop Kelly to Tulsa Central because I was wanting to be around more people like me. Not saying that anything was wrong, but I
No,
wasn't
that's
rich.
understandable.
Right. Yeah.
And these people's lifestyles were like so different from mine, and so I was like, I want to be around the people that I knew, the people I grew up with, the people I went to school with back in elementary. And I went back and I was like, oh, your Uncle Tom and all this stuff because I was I could articulate words, and I didn't listen to rap music at that time, so I didn't listen to a lot of rap music at that time.
Yeah.
So it was definitely it was a big it was a hard time in my life until about 18, and then I started to learn more about it, and then I had met Shannon, and then he kind of said solidified that shit, I was always doing it right.
Yeah.
So you met
Cool.
Shannon at a young age.
Yeah.
Right
Yeah.
on. When did you actually start DJing?
I started DJing officially when I was like 17.
Wow.
17?
Wow.
Mm.
And then is that how you and Shannon met?
Yeah, all right. This is probably
Okay,
my
here
favorite
we go.
story.
I knew a story
This
was
is gonna be
coming.
good,
This is gonna be
yeah.
great.
I just got to remember to breathe. All right, so we was doing Wild Groove right at the Camelot,
Okay.
and I had my homeboy Mike.
Camelot Hotel?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
I love that place.
so we was doing nights out there, and like my friends, they would all go down to concessions. I was underage, and I didn't want to go down there, so I would stay up there and I would practice DJing, and I got real good, I guess. I didn't think I was good. I thought I was still learning. But one day, Brad came in. I was like, yo, dude, you going to get on decks? He's like, nah, man, you got it. And then he went and worked the door. And so people started coming in. And I was like, dude, man, you need to get on this before, people leave.
Yeah. I might be scaring them away. Come on.
He was like,
Was there any music playing yet?
oh, yeah. It was,
Okay.
man, I was like, you got to understand from like 9 till 2 o'clock. I was in there by myself just playing music.
Sweating it.
And so people started coming in and dancing. I was amazed, and I just kept playing. And then, Tulsa, in my previous experience, like everyone just kept coming in with from concessions, and they really never really looked like me.
Right.
But I knew that it was I like what I like. But the thing is like I played different music than my boys, who were they were the star DJs, I guess I would say, like Brad Edwards and Pete Dorr even.
Yeah.
And so I was playing stuff that sounded totally different, but it was still in the vein of electronic music, but it was more of a Detroit sound.
Oh, nice.
And so it was like Moody Man, and before Moody Man became even famous, and like Theo Parrish and stuff like that.
Where were you finding that music?
Watts. We would order directly from Watts.
Really?
Yeah. And
That's awesome.
yeah, we got a tax ID and everything, and was ordering directly from Watts through a friend. And so that would go on for about 2 months, and then I'm DJing. I'm playing. I remember the song I was playing, "A Small Black Church" by Moody Man. And this dude comes in and he jumps on the speaker and he's like pumping his arm real just really into it into one of the songs that I really loved, and this was and it was one of the first albums that I got also that I personally like. Yo, this is, you know, I want this, and it wasn't like one of the house. I mean, because like we were all boys and we all shared everything because like we left all our records up there. We didn't take any of that home, but the Moody Man was like one of the first albums that was actually mine. And he showed love on that track, and then, you know, I just, you know, we padded it up, and then we actually met later on and actually got introduced later on. And he's like, "Yo, man, I'm from Chicago, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, "Oh, cool." And he's like, "Man," he asked the same question, "Where did you get this stuff? How do you know about this?" And I was like, "Man, I don't know. It's just, I was drawn to it. It was like a calling."
So the man pumping his fist was Shannon.
Yeah.
Right on.
It was
That's
crazy.
cool.
Yep. And that was how I met him.
That's a good way to meet.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, like, you know, and he actually, like, got me back on the history because, like, for me, it was just what was here. It really wasn't a history being shared about where it came from, except for there was this, and I do remember this, there was this one guy named Ron Pullman that everyone just looked up to. And if you ask Pete about him, you know, he'd be like, "Oh, Ron," everyone just worships Ron because he's a pretty dope DJ. Turns out that he was friends with Shannon. And, I mean, it's just weird. It's, you know, and like, I remember one of the biggest nights when we used to do Wild Grooves downtown. You know, we had the main room and then we had this other room, and there was this other dude, Ron Palmer, I think is his name, in this other small room that was just working it, and everyone was just wanting to crowd in there. And he was playing like some of the classics. He was playing house, and he was all over. I mean, he wasn't all over the place, but he was playing stuff that I was like, this is stuff I can really feel, because, you know, you have house music and then you have other house music as like soulful house, I guess.
Yeah.
And that, you know, pulls a lot of elements from the music of my childhood, like Stevie Wonder and George Duke, and, you know, many, like a lot of artists that I grew up listening to. That's like, I'm like, we can mix this. This would be dope. And I didn't know that this is where it actually came from. You know, like the old R&B tracks. I didn't know that this was the actual history of house music. I was just like, oh, this shit sounds good together. This should be mixed. And it actually happened to be music that was mixed in the beginning. It's definitely an interesting upbringing into, I guess, house music for me, because it was something that I was always into, but just never knew what it was. And, you know, now it's such a big part of my identity.
Yeah.
Well, you bring up kind of an interesting part of house music in saying that, though, because house music kind of has just, it's like a platform that allows almost any other style of music to merge into it seamlessly.
And
Yeah.
create a new genre or subgenre. But
Right. It's just like the next step up.
well, it reminds me too of that video. I guess it was a trailer for that movie coming out when they were asking a whole bunch of old schoolers and whatnot, like, what was the first house track? And everybody just goes,
Right.
it's well, I should know this. You know, it was really interesting trailer. I have to send it to you, but
No, I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Everyone was stumped.
Yeah.
because too, in the origin of house didn't it originally start with disco music in the 70s, and they
Right.
started using, like, you know, the backbeats and stuff like that, and it kind of developed. But then a
Well,
lot of
it
different
did.
cultures developed it into other stuff at about the same time too, didn't they?
Well, there was well, I wouldn't say a rivalry, but it was, you know, two friends that were from two different cities playing similar music, and they were rival cities. I wouldn't even say they were. Well, I would say they were rival cities with Chicago and New York. We had Larry Levan in New York, and Knuckles in Chicago, and
Yeah.
you
Which
know,
Knuckles was in New York before.
right.
So
Yeah. And y'all, if y'all want to ever do the history, I can introduce y'all to some people that y'all should have on your podcast.
That would be great. I would love that.
That would be cool.
That know it a lot better than me. But so they were playing pretty much the same music, but they had a different flair. And after a while, because you had people like Ron Hardy, and you had Detroit. You had the rivalry between Detroit and Chicago. So what happened with Chicago? They started tracking all their stuff and making loops. They was real heavy on the edits.
Okay.
And so that started to, I guess, help define the Chicago sound separate from the New York sound. And I guess that's how they determined that okay, it's going to be house music from Knuckles the Warehouse. Because of the events that took place that house looks more like what they were doing in Chicago now than what Levan was doing in New York.
Yeah.
But it's all from the same.
I still feel like Larry Levan's work was super important to you.
No, Larry. He's definitely. Yeah. If you ask,
who was that? Morales? Was that another New York guy? John Morales?
It's Morales. I think there's brothers. There's two of them, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. Oh, snap.
I'm sitting in front of a computer. Hold on, let me look this up.
Because I keep wanting to say David Morales.
Dave Morales is one, I think.
Yeah, but no, the people that
it was more on the disco side, and it was like mid '80s is what I was thinking.
But yeah, that would be the New York area, like Junior Vasquez and all them.
Yeah.
And then,
right.
But what's important about New York, I would say, is more than it is Chicago. Is New York created what we consider the clubs with the big sound.
Right.
With like David Mancuso, with sound engineers to, they were putting in all this energy and research into making the best sound for these clubs. Because if it wasn't, it'd be just like juke joints and was it speakeasies or whatever they call themselves now, or call themselves back then.
Right.
There would be no such thing as a dance floor that I would like to be on.
Right. Yeah.
So are you a big dancer?
Man, I used to dance a lot, and then I had the issue with my neuropathy, and I remember going out with my walker, and people was like, "What happened to you?" I'm like, "This is life, man," and I just like music, so I'm gonna come out and listen to it, no matter
I'm gonna
what I gotta go
it.
through. Yeah, so I'll be out on my walker and be at clubs. I think I went to go see DJ Feelgood. I was in my walker, and
Nice.
and I think Josh Wink. I
Nice.
was going through rehabilitation, and like later on, a couple of years later, I was just standing at Curly's, and some dude came up to me. He's like, "Yo, you was a big inspiration to me." I'm like, "What are you talking about, dude?" He says, "Man, you're such a nice guy. You was in that walker. I saw you doing this, and you inspired me to, get off of drugs and do." I'm like, "I didn't. That's not what my.
That wasn't my plan, but you're welcome.
Yeah, sorry.
I mean, that was my plan. That's what I was trying to do.
That's what I was doing.
Yeah.
That's what I was out here doing.
Good for you. There we go.
Yeah.
You got my
There you go.
lesson fully. There you go.
Yeah. But ever since after my neuropathy, just couldn't. I tried and dance, but I can't dance like I used to dance.
Right.
Oh, none of us can.
And,
No, that's for sure.
And I wished I could because I love dancing.
Yeah.
Because that's what I am first is a dancer.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, not professionally.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, because I can remember dancing my whole life.
Huh.
Yeah, and it would be the Stevie Wonder or whatever my mom's like Maggot Brains or by some John Mama Trading, whatever it was, I would dance, and it's interesting how there was this whole element about the music that I didn't even know existed. I just thought it was the dance and you had to be a musician, and then all of a sudden DJing came about, and I'm addicted to blending stuff. And,
Yeah.
and at the time before that, I would dance behind the decks, but now I don't know what I do. I do something's moving at least.
Yeah, so when I hear the music, I definitely feel it. There's a drive there, but I can say that I dance just as good as I've always have because I've always sucked. But I mean, there's something awkward about it. I can't do it.
What's that hard step that they be doing these new kids at the raves?
Oh gosh,
I don't
yeah.
know.
What is
Yeah.
that
Where they
called?
be kind of just like running it, like it looks like the Running Man.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because we
I
need
have
to bring
seen
that back.
Yeah, I can never even do that correctly.
It's shuffling, right?
Yeah, some
Shuffle.
shuffle. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's I love watching them though. I just wish it
Right.
was to better music.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can work on it.
Yeah, I can edit. I take that. I'm gonna take that and edit and put some good music and slow you down dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
You're dancing at an appropriate rate. Your heart loves you now.
Yeah. So, how did you get your name, Gyasi? Is that your name?
Wow.
I'm just
Way to step it up, Mel.
right.
Yeah,
Did
right.
You like
Do
that
your
one?
research,
See,
yeah.
I know.
Well, I mean,
I asked the dumb questions. That's why
I
I'm
think
here.
I might have been like -7 months when that name came to me.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
my mom, she was my mom, she was.
I asked the dumb questions. That's what
Oh,
I
it's
do.
it's cool. It's my mom. She's into like the Pan African movement, Garveyites and stuff like that, Black Panthers, and she wanted to give me a name with a meaning, and it wanted to be African roots, and so
That's
Gyasi
awesome.
is my name,
Gyasi,
and it's
yeah.
Gyasi Akil, and it stands for Wonderful One Who Uses Reason. And I thank her for naming me that because
That's really cool. Yeah.
I do believe in meanings, and if you give a child a name without a meaning, it hinders that child because, I grew up into my name, and I don't believe that. I mean, I don't believe that names are given to the wrong people.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's
Interesting,
awesome.
That's cool.
And the whole name of using reason, but you don't use reason, right? Like, I mean, I use reason.
I used to use reason.
Do you? I love reason.
No,
Sorry, I had to make a
reason.
joke about it.
Reasons. Yes, I used to.
I love reason.
I'm no longer a Kill anymore. I need to change my middle name.
What would you change
Right.
it to?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Some German, because I use Cubase now.
Uh,
But I guess propeller head's German also. So.
yeah, that's true.
Everything's
But-
German. Native Instruments is even German.
It is, isn't it?
Oh my god, I use nothing but German stuff.
Really?
So would you be Gyasi Kubasi?
Kabasi sounds more Asian.
It
Yeah,
does.
true.
Well, I'm just
Weird.
trying to put a spin on Cubase to make it sound similar.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
Yeah.
Jossie Steinberg Sanders.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, there you go. that would work.
Just use their parent name.
But to Melanie's credit, though, I mean, like, pretty much everybody, we've gotten through here has had a name. Even Jitsu has a name, Falkirk, and,
Right.
What
everybody
is
has
DJ
like
Pete's name.
Well, he's just Pete Dore. I mean, he's like the only
Yeah.
one that's like, yeah.
See, because we're old school.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that makes sense.
I was like, DJ names, what?
But
Yeah.
it's
don't
still,
change.
it's still an interesting story where your name came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Anyway,
great
that's-
story, yeah.
Yeah, now people know.
Yeah. We're going to delve deeper into
I know.
what they
It's
know
like
about
people
you.
actually know me now. It's
Yeah.
like, I've been keeping it a secret.
That's what this thing is for.
Right.
Yeah.
Get to know the artist.
Yeah, it's definitely that. I've talked more about, my music and who I am with y'all than probably most people.
Yeah. Well, that was one thing I always loved, like running into you when we were out and whatnot, because you always had something like a project or an idea, and you and me would just sit there and, just bounce ideas off each other and just tune everybody out and just,
Oh man,
break
yeah.
apart the universe. I always
Oh.
loved that.
And that's what DJ is about, man. People don't understand that even you're a DJ or you're contributing to the party.
Right.
If you're a person there that gives great conversations, that always shows love, you're just as important if you're a dancer than the person playing the music.
Absolutely.
Right. That makes sense.
You just don't get
Yeah.
paid.
Yeah, it
Depends
depends
what
on
kind
the
of
city.
dancer, yeah.
And that too, because some dancers might get paid.
Well, speaking of projects and stuff, you have a big one coming up, is what it sounds like. What have you been
Oh,
working
here it
on?
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened. The
Yeah.
bomb was dropped.
Well, we did bring up Shannon earlier, so
Well,
Yeah.
that's true. Man, I'm sitting on stuff, man. That's all I'm doing right now. I mean, I have stuff working, and I have the label already set up, and just sitting on it.
Are you ready? Are you ready to drop the label's name?
Oh, it's Soul Therapy.
Soul
Nice.
Therapy.
Oh, good.
And
good
so
name.
this is
great.
Yeah.
this is a project with you
Me and
and
Shannon.
and Shannon, right?
Yeah.
what decided? What kind of brought this up with you guys that said, okay, let's start a label?
We wanted to be in control,
Yeah.
and I like numbers. I love numbers, and I'm like, I would like to see who's buying what and where. And
Yeah.
I'm like, and going through a third party, it's a lot tougher to get that information.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just like looking at it, and because it gives me more of what's working and what's not,
Mhm.
and where is it working. So if I do want to do anything, I have the information to do it correctly.
Yeah.
So it's weird because, like, I remember after my second release, I started getting all these friend requests from like Africa.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Really?
what is going on? And apparently I like the song that I did.
That's
So,
awesome.
Do you guys have a specific kind of style of house you're trying to do with this
No,
project?
actually,
or-
no. It's not. It's what a lot of people think is, it's Gyasi. It's always house music. No, it's gonna be everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And what does Shannon also DJ? Does he produce? What does he do?
He does both. Yeah.
Both.
Yeah. So you
I would say, I don't know. It's like with me and him, it's like because he was so much better than me. From the beginning.
Mhm.
So I remember when we found, he sent a mixtape through a friend to me and Brad, and here we're sitting in because he wanted to DJ at Wild Groove, and we're sitting in the car with this mixtape that he made, listening to it, and I was just thinking like how stupid we were back then, and how we thought we was the shit. Like, oh yeah, we're vetting this DJ, and yeah, this guy. Oh yeah, he's gonna pass. Yeah, we're gonna work with him because but he did play good music. I can't lie. I mean, he was, for someone that we didn't know, he was holding it down, like legit. So we eventually had him on, and he became a regular, and he was better than me for sure because I was still a beginner.
Yeah.
And so I looked up. I don't know how to say, because I wouldn't say I looked up to him, but I
Got a lot
aspired.
of inspiration from it.
Yeah, I inspired to try and to do more,
Yeah.
and in the process, push him.
Yeah.
The
Me-
friendly competition.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
helps you both be better.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, because he was already, and he's still. I mean, like, comparatively, like I play more. I mean, because like what Chicago and Detroit was. I mean, there's so much of the same, but they're so different.
Yeah.
Like the music that I play is more minimal, and like I can play a groove forever. It doesn't have to have the change. And like I'm a DJ's DJ, let me put it that way. I guess that's the best way I can put it. I'm a DJ's DJ, and he can rock the party, but I can rock the party too, but he does it more natural than I do. Because I would want to play, I'd be like, can I say the F word?
You
Yeah.
can say whatever you want on here. Yeah. We're just on YouTube. Like,
Right, you can say
yeah.
anything you want at all.
No editing. No. Yeah. No.
I want to be like, fuck y'all. I know what y'all need to hear, and this is it. And it might be something new that no one's heard before,
Yeah.
and I would take those risks.
Yeah.
And
that's kind of why I like going out to see you when you do play.
Yeah.
Which I don't feel like is often enough, but
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, if it was in a different city, it'd be a different story.
oh,
Well,
definitely.
Because, it's, I don't have all that, I guess I would say false energy. Because, I think I would call it false energy because I think that, when people say, oh, it's just house music is slow. I'm like, it's 120, 100.
Yeah.
I'm playing 130 BPM. This is not slow.
Yeah.
It's not.
And then and also dealing with you know, a lot of the fans of like drum and bass, and you know, not to knock drum and bass, there's good drum and bass, and there's like
Right.
2 or 3 good dubstep songs, and and you know, when I go out and I'm talking with some of the people that go to these mixed events where there's multiple genres of music being played, which is mostly like drum and bass and some of the harder house or disco. Well, not even disco house anymore. And like they will always talk about their experience at these parties, and the music was this and the music was that and the music was this and blah blah blah. I was tripping my balls. I'm like, okay, that's why the music was good.
Yeah.
That's why the music was good, because like when I go to my parties, I'm the youngest person there, and all these 50-year-olds, 45-year-olds out there, you know, dancing like, you know, I mean, like, where did they get this energy from? These people are, you know, 10 years my senior, and they're out dancing better, working it. And I'm like, they come prepared. They come, you know, it's different. You know, when I got to travel to like Detroit, New York, when I lived in Jersey, it's different to the parties I would go to. And, you know, where I'm the youngest person and everyone's dancing, you know, with the same energy as I hear these other parties are having. And it's kind of like, how can you continue to listen to drum and bass when you're, you know, 50 years old? It just seems
like
weird.
it would be a bit much at that age.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I'm not saying it.
Go ahead.
But I mean, but I feel that way about house. I'm pretty sure they be like, I know my granddad, you know, God rest his soul, but he was like, I don't like that. That's not music.
Right. Yeah. and that's what we're saying about some of the younger kids' music now. We're just like, that's not music.
Going full
it's
circle.
happening to us. We're getting older.
Oh, no.
I like it.
I do too, really.
I'm glad that I'm still consistent and I still like the music that I liked when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That is cool, yeah.
But definitely, I would venture to say, like, the music you liked as a kid didn't have the beats in it like stuff does now. It didn't come through as clean. I mean, when you get into, like, 50s and 60s music, listen for that kick, and it's not really there.
Production has gotten different.
Yeah, well, I would say that we can do definitely more things, but I think that the overall feeling and the tone of the music hasn't really changed a lot.
No, I mean, it still has the voice in it, you know, and the character in it.
Right.
But the interesting thing just on the production side is we're getting more use of the full frequency ranges and getting a lot more sounds and stuff like that, and full meteor sounds too, I think, too, even with just progressive house and, you know, chill house even, you know.
Yeah, chill house, or what is it called? Ultra lounges.
Ultra lounge.
What happened to them, man?
I don't know.
I love the music though, because that's the stuff that people kind of like. I guess typecast me, or you know, they said, oh, he plays this music, and he, you know, I like it because you can play a wider. You know, you can play a variety of different music. I can play broken beat. I can play house. I can play down tempo. Mm-hmm. You know, I can actually mix in that Stevie Wonder or mix in those classic R&B tracks with, you know, this music in the ultra lounge setting.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
So, I mean, that was one of my favorite reasons for the ultra lounge. But the ultra lounge, I think, is what got people to stop dancing because.
Kind of hang out more.
Yeah,
it is kind of just more relaxed, chill though. You know what I mean? I can see that, but I always liked it.
Oh yeah, I mean, because like, you know, like for me, like the music I would play really here wouldn't be Orchard Lounge music. Like I would play like a Josh Milan track,
right,
or some Blaze. You know, take that to New York, everybody's dancing. Take that to Chicago, everybody's dancing. But here.
Play that in Tulsa.
You got to be at Ultra Lounge. You can only get away with it playing in the Ultra Lounge, and it's the weirdest city for electronic music.
Well, we're still, you know, I mean, there was a past with Tulsa and house music and stuff like that, but we've lost those roots.
Yeah,
and it's almost like we lost the foundation, and we need to rebuild the foundation, rebuild the knowledge base of what house music is, and grow it, and start over, start from scratch again.
I don't want to sound old, but I mean, I think we lost it due to the cheap drugs and I guess the introduction of like meth and speed, because like at that point, everyone wanted stuff to go faster and faster and faster.
Yeah, true.
And a lot of the heads are the older. We wasn't used to playing happy hardcore or or stuff of that manner. God. So like all the I guess say the elders just kind of got jobs and started having kids and just like, I'm done with the scene.
Yeah.
Because at that point we've invested lots of time and lots of money into our craft. And then you have all these kids coming into it that, want to do it like trance, and we want to have fun, and we want, and we don't have time, or we don't even want to do that because we've been doing it longer.
Yeah.
And not saying that we've been doing it right, but we've put in the work.
Well, and the thing is too, like, you have your fads, like your happy hardcore and your they kind of came and went, and then, you've had a lot of those different subgenres that came and went, and always come back to house.
Oh, definitely.
And that's why when everybody keeps, even the old schoolers get up in arms about the dubstep stuff, I'm like, hold on, give it 5 more minutes. Just wait. It's coming back to house. Like,
yeah, but by the time it comes back to house, I mean, we're going to be like collecting AARP.
That's
a good point.
A good reason for you to be out and doing more shows.
Yeah, for real.
Well, and that's kind of how, we've been looking at Tulsa. And again, another reason why we're doing this podcast is trying to build more knowledge base and a foundation of house, and trying to get things started again.
Plus, we get to see numbers and see what's going on.
Exactly.
We like numbers too.
Numbers are so fun. Numbers are so fun, man.
Yeah,
they are.
But it's the idea of like, we need more things like this. We need, more of the old schoolers coming out and doing shows. We need all these things working together to try to build this foundation.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that old schoolers are jaded. I wouldn't say that at all. It's just that, we've been so far out of it that our lives are completely taken over by, other stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot harder it would be a lot harder to come back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, Tulsa's kind of stuck with what it has right now. Not saying that it's horrible, but it's a lot different from what it used to be.
Yeah. But even still, I mean, starting a record label and getting, a Tulsa-based record label and getting music out there, that's still something that's helping and will help.
Right. Yeah. But then, then again, it's like, I'm that DJ. They'd be like, yo, y'all gonna listen to what I tell y'all. Y'all gonna and so, if they don't like it, I'm gonna be butthurt.
You slap them around.
Yeah.
Slap them around, slap them out of the room if you have to.
Listen to this now.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that might be one of the reasons why I'm still sitting on stuff, because it's like, I mean, I have some good stuff, and you've heard it. You've heard some of it. You've probably heard a lot of it.
He has some really killer stuff.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, well.
We'll have to hook you up.
Yeah.
Maybe we can go out to his car in a little while. That's normally where I get to hear stuff.
Actually, it's on my phone, so.
We can plug and play after this.
What?
Boom.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear something.
I don't like to let you hear it for long.
I don't need it. Okay. Just give me a snippet.
He wants to show you the best 30 seconds of the song and then show you the next best 30 seconds of another song.
I can live with that. Yeah. I'm okay with that.
So if you
a
guys,
little preview, if you will.
It'll be the best minute of your life.
Oh, that's
fantastic.
If you guys could just distract him for just a few minutes, I'll grab his phone.
Do you have a
I'll
password
load it on
it?
the.
I have a password.
Yeah. He's got a password. We've got to crack the code first.
Well, or you could just say it into the mic and we can rewind later.
We'll edit it out. It's okay. No,
right.
That's word. Yeah, and it's fun. I mean, I remember, and this is something else about the new school versus old school, is the mixing. I'm like, well, a lot of people, and they talked about it. You talked about it with Pete and Jitsu in previous shows about, you know, the actual record, you know, and the time and the money and what it took to get you and the story behind that record.
Yeah.
And like, you know, DJing off of laptops, I'm like, people ask me, what is that song? I'm like, I don't even know what this is.
Yeah.
You know, but back in the day, I mean, even with the vinyl, I didn't know what it is, but I can like, yo, it's that one right there. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And like, I knew exactly where it was, you know, and it was a whole feel because like, you know, in the way that the records were set up, I knew, you know, where to go for that particular song. Even though I didn't know the name, I knew exactly what the cover looked like. I knew what side, and once I got to it, I'm like, okay, yeah, this is Fire Island. Get your hands off my man.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna love this track.
Well, and that's interesting though too. You know, bringing up even the mixing between the old school and new school, and how it's changed too. Because back then it was a lot of layering,
Yeah.
and now it's like a
Hit a
lot
button.
of a lot of stuff too is you will even have less than a phrase to mix into the next song. There's no layering. It just seems like you have the outro mixing right into the intro and boom.
Oh,
you know?
that makes some of the best mixing though.
Well, no, I'm saying though, but just the difference between now, you have a way more of that now because it's more faster cuts and kind of doing stuff like that. When back in the day, it was really about layering different tracks on top of each other to kind of create your own track.
Excuse me. Yeah, if you had enough turntables. I remember we used to do these parties where we had 8 turntables set up.
Oh, geez.
Holy shit.
And we would just have fun.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, just mixing and like it's weird. I remember one day. I got a couple of stories.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
And you know, and it's not a knock against Pete at all.
I like that it started
We
out
like
that
the
way.
story already.
Yes.
All right, man, because like me and Pete, you know, we go way back.
Right.
And then, you know, Pete, I remember him telling me never mix vocals, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna do whatever, man,
Yeah.
because for me, that, you know, I was always doing what felt. I didn't care about the technical stuff.
Right.
And I remember one day I was DJing at the First Shop, I believe it was the name, and I played this Osalade, You Touch My Soul, and it wasn't a house track. And I told him, I'm like, yo, man, you can let it play out, you can cut it. It's not electronic music friendly, but it's just a damn good song.
Yeah.
And I had to play it, and that was my last song. And so, you know, of course, he kind of cut it too early. Played that song, but I still love Pete because that was a really good. It's one of my favorite songs to this day.
And he fucked it up?
No, he didn't really mess it up. But
They just said, and I'm on.
yeah,
Uh,
but yeah. And then I remember one time I was DJing out at Camelot, and Basement Jaxx came out with this song called Bella Horizonte, and it was new. Nobody's heard it, but people like me and some other DJs. So I played it, cleared the dance floor.
Which is always the best feeling in the world.
And I'm like, fuck y'all.
I'm gonna listen to it anyway.
Yeah, and y'all don't know what y'all missing.
You don't have any taste musically.
Yeah, people. And then 6 months later, I'm in Ocean Club to go say what's up to Jameson, and he's playing it. Everyone's going crazy. Everyone's going crazy over this song now, and I'm just sitting here like. And then I went to this other place. I think it was Hercules Motor Club, or it was another club in what is his name? Sean Kibble was playing it. Everyone going crazy, and I'm like, dude, sorry. When I played it, why did everyone clear the dance floor? But I was the first one to play it though.
That's awesome.
It's like, I know what y'all like before y'all like it.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do.
No, it's tough, man, and it's something that I guess I wouldn't say plagues me, but it does plague me because I'm like, dude, this song's awesome, but no one really wants to hear it until it's like
Until
a year
they've
old.
heard it.
Yeah,
They have to hear it to be into it. Like,
yeah, and it's just so weird. I mean, because like we used to do a radio show, me and Shannon. I mean, it was a show. I would do a lot of guest appearances on Elements of Soul on Hands On Radio, and you know, he used to tell me about, man, you would be the first one to play that track, and now everyone's playing it. And he's like, you do that a lot, and I'm like, come on, man, and no one takes me serious. Gyasi, he's a nice guy. I want to be Gyasi. He's a great DJ. Nice guy can come last.
You should pride
Yeah.
yourself on that, though. Like, you're
I
there
know.
before everybody. It's
I'm-
just, unfortunately, other people are getting the recognition.
Yeah, I would say that it was my records were Columbus. If y'all ever watch
Oh, yeah.
College Humor,
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's a good one.
yeah.
Well, so you're not playing out anytime soon.
No, I don't see. And it's I'm not thirsty anymore.
Right.
I've DJ'd all over the U.S. and
Yeah.
you know, I don't have to DJ. I know I can DJ. I've rocked crowds, and you know, it's not a priority.
Right.
But the music still is. I still collect music, and I still make mixtapes or mixes.
Don't you ever just get that itch though? I mean, because there's that energy you get from performing, and it's like,
Oh, nervous, man. I'm a nervous wreck when I DJ, man. Don't. Nah, I'm never cool. I'm always like a wreck.
really,
Yeah. Oh my God, it's horrible. I hate it.
dang. Yeah, you always look just very cool and collected up there.
No.
Was that because of the performance or the crowd, or just wanting it to go well, or just
a whole lot
all
of
the
stuff.
above?
Yeah.
Everything, yeah.
Hey, the reason why
I mean,
is
a
because
lot
like
of people say that, though. I get that there would be nervous energy.
my skeleton's shaking underneath all this flesh, so you know you can't probably see it,
Yeah.
but it's definitely doing something.
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Like I get my stomach's in knots. I mean, all the time.
Yeah.
And it doesn't. I mean, it's always been that way. And people's like, "Oh, you're gonna be." I'm like, I know I'm gonna do fine, but just, you know, I don't know if I'll be able to do it if it doesn't happen.
Right.
You know.
So is that why you're starting the label, or are you trying to lean more onto that side of things now?
Oh man, the reason why I want to
Is
start
it
a label.
less nerve-wracking?
No, that's even more.
Oh.
It's
I'm
even
sure,
more.
yeah.
I mean, because it's stuff I created. So
It's a piece of you that you're
Yeah.
handing to people and going, judge me.
Right.
Be nice, please.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, it's the
watching the
internet?
numbers.
no, it's never gonna
Yeah.
happen. That's the worst place to ask for people to be nice.
Oh, no kidding.
I'm like, be nice to my face.
Right.
Talk some shit, but do it on a blog I don't read.
Right.
for real.
There's only a couple we listen to, or a podcast.
And they're never
Not
gonna on the
Yeah.
other podcasts I listen to. They're never gonna unless it makes it to a video game. They're like, oh man, that soundtrack was okay.
That would be really cool if you could get a song on a soundtrack. Oh
Now,
my God. Are you kidding me?
Peep this. This is amazing. All right, so and this is gonna plug my favorite company,
Okay.
Rockstar, of course.
Yeah.
We love Rockstar.
I remember playing this game called Smuggler's Run. One of the best driving games ever. It was just like capture the flag in cars.
Hell
And
yeah.
so they had this dope soundtrack. I'm like, man, this music is just like on point. This music is really too good to be video game music. Started buying records. Oh, that's on that game. That's on that game. That's on this game. So there's this record label up in Chicago called Guidance. Some of the best music. It's
Huh.
closed now. They were the company that did the soundtrack for Smuggler's Run, and it was just, you know, and at that point, the next game I think came out was I think one of the Grand Theft Auto series, and then their soundtrack for that, and so you know that's what actually got me back into video games is through the soundtracks of Rockstar games because
Wow.
I'm like they were always on point
They're really
with
good.
their music because like when San Andreas came out, it was back in the 80s. The music that they were playing was the 80s house music, and it was legit. I mean, it was you could sign off on it like, yo, this is really what it was. And you know, they was playing like Marshall Jefferson. They was playing. They would talk about Knuckles. They was playing Larry Heard. You know, it was. I think they even had a Jamie Principle track, which me and my sister we love this. We love. We love this song called "Bad Boy" by Jamie Principle, and it's one of the because Jamie and Principle and Frankie Knuckles
Right.
had something going on.
What was that track? The something about love. They did it in the DJ booth.
They have a lot of stuff, man.
and Knuckles would just like chop up all the shit Jamie Principal would write out. He would have pages for one song. He's like, no. We don't need pages of lyrics.
Now I'll tell you, talking about who can't sing but can sing. Talking about someone telling no to is Robert Owens, probably the worst singer. But all of his tracks are slamming. I promise you. You be like, this dude can't sing, but I feel him. I mean, he just be hollering, like making noises, but
He's working it out.
oh, he's working it out,
Yeah.
and you working it out too. I mean, and he still makes music today, and it still sounds like some Robert Owens stuff. And like it was, you cannot not know who this is. If you heard if you heard two Robert Owens tracks, you'd be calibrated. And whenever you hear a song, you'd be like, oh, that's Robert Owens.
Really?
Wow.
That's cool. I'm
That's
gonna
Robert
check
Owens.
this out. Yeah.
Right on.
But you're absolutely right. All of the Grand Theft Auto games, they have. I just turn up the background music.
The radio is what it's about.
The
in those
radio is
games.
all it's about. And
Drive
I
around
love
town, sitting on your couch, getting drunk.
it. Pretty much,
Good
yeah.
tunes.
It's the best game ever.
Yeah, and to this
One
day,
of my favorites.
Yeah, and they always keep it right
do.
with the music.
They do. It's wild, but
It's
it's just
way more fun than driving around on Google Maps.
right.
Yo, dude, no, now I would
Yeah.
love to. There's some type of program that you can like stream a Google trip on Google Maps, like it'll do frame by frame
Okay.
and piece it together. And this is what I wanted to do for like all my mixtapes and put them up on YouTube, because I'm like I don't want a picture of me. I don't really want.
Yeah.
Just
That
pay-
would be
my
really
identity.
cool.
Right. Just have a.
So I just want a motion of a trip, a driving trip while the music is playing.
I feel
Well,
like-
let's get a GoPro. Put me in the car. I'll drive around with it.
That's
Well,
what's up.
Yeah,
That's what's
we
up.
could work that out. I could.
I think
I could-
Marcus Mix though does music videos up in Chicago, and it's like they're called cheap but not cheap music videos. I think it's like $50, and he'll make you a video. It'll probably suck, but it's amazing
Well-
in its own respect.
Something different that most DJs just put themselves up with a picture. I'm like, come on, man, you gotta be do something different. Make it something memorable.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Well,
People can see it and also. Yeah.
I told you guys about the idea that I had about Corey's thing. My brother Corey Daughtry, he's getting his pilot's license. He's got a couple of GoPros and whatnot, and so he's been taking a lot of footage of him flying and stuff like that. I was like, it would be great is give me a lot of that footage, and let's do like something like you walking out to the plane, taking off, and just doing like a whole mix that goes along with like this
Exactly.
edited
That's
flight. That would be
a similar thing. Yeah.
yeah, that's
So,
exactly what I
Yeah.
want to do.
That's my mom. She's the kind of the one that gave me that idea. She's like, because she likes house music, and she's like, whenever I'm traveling and I have to drive somewhere, I put on one of your mix CDs, and I'm
Yeah.
there in no time.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of one of the reasons I got more into electronic music was having to drive back and forth between Kansas City and Tulsa because I was going to college up there, but my girlfriend lived here, and so every weekend was 8 hours in a car. And
gosh.
I wasn't really that into electronic music until I started making all these car trips, and I realized, you know what, the ones with the steady beats that go on forever make this trip seem shorter.
No Brooks and
And
Dunn
it
on that
just
trip
fit
for you?
perfect. not
Brooks
really.
and Dunn.
Well, a good mix too is about a journey,
Yeah.
you know, and to mix that visually with a journey, I think that's a great idea.
That's when you start talking about people who have been in it long enough to know about programming a mix, because it seems like now, especially in Tulsa, since we have these micro mixers, I will call them, where you'll come in, you'll sign up, and everyone's mixing for like 30 minutes. I'm like, dude, you can't do crap in 30 minutes.
Right.
That's for some people that might be 2 songs.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
the collection of music that I have is so vast that I can take you a lot of places, and I can and give me the time and we would get there. But you can't do it in an hour.
No.
That's why the mix I brought you is 2 hours.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Well, and not to cut you off, but so I don't lose this point, actually, let's get into that a little bit. Explain how you put together a mix and talk about the journeys and how you do that. Because like you said, a lot of people don't know about it, and this would be a definitely good opportunity to talk about it.
Well, it's definitely like you were saying earlier, you approach your vehicle, and your music starts off with a decent intro.
Yeah.
And you can start off quickly. I wouldn't suggest it, but there's really no rules when it comes to art.
Right.
But I usually start off and build it up. And like if it was up to me and I was doing a mix just for me and like the F the World mix, it'll just be just a whole bunch of loops of on top of one another. Like there was this compilation that this guy did called G-Man. I don't know who he is. And I don't even know if I can find this anymore. It was a CD, and on the back of it, his track list was lines, and I wish I can explain it with words because it's so visual.
Right.
Because like the way he set it up, it wasn't times. It was the length of a track was represented in a line.
Okay.
And with the line, each song, it would show you where it actually started in the other song, and the line would go off in the next song. And so like you have like four different 5 songs playing at the same time, all the time, creating new music as it started. And with that, he would have his, even with that, he would build up and then rest and then build up and then rest, which a lot of people are missing. And, you can't go 100 miles an hour all the time.
Right. You just exhaust people.
Yeah. And you exhaust yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if you're ramping it up, all the time, eventually you're going to get to your best album.
Yeah.
Or your best song.
And
where are you going to go?
Yeah, absolutely. Where are you going to go after that? Yeah.
That album that you're describing just now sounds exactly like the first time I saw you play. I was hanging out at like Yeti or Sound Pony.
Well, my nickname is G-Man when I'm playing dominoes.
Is it really?
Yeah.
But Justin just grabbed me by the wrist one night when I'm drunk as hell and was like, "We're going down here. Gyasi is playing. We're going to 209."
Yeah.
And I was just like, "Who goes to 209?" Like,
I'm picturing you guys skipping, holding hands at this point.
That was after the show.
That might have actually happened. Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me.
We tried to get some more people to come along, but I think we ended up with like 5 people, and
well, they didn't want to hear music that they didn't know they liked yet.
But
so.
I think it was the only 5 people we brought were the only 5 people on the floor. Everyone else wanted to hang out outside, and we were like, "Don't you fucking get it? This is so fucking great!" But the whole experience to me was I never at any point in that night knew when you actually finished a song or started another one. Everything was so seamless.
Thank God. There was that one long, 5-hour track that I was playing.
At the very end, there's just 2 seconds of another track, and I'm done.
Yeah.
To make it official, I did mix.
You made it look like you did, but...
I got a funny story about that. I'll tell you after you finish yours.
Oh, no, mine's done. Go ahead.
Back at Camelot, there was this guy. I can't remember. Keith was his name, I think. Nice guy. Very nice guy. He was twins. Both of them really nice guys. They're brothers.
Keith and Keith?
Keith. Well, the other, I don't know. I can't remember his brother's name. So they, he asked me, he's like, "Yo, can I get up on a decks?" I'm like, "Are you DJ?" And he's like, "No, I got a CD I want to play." Guess what? It was one of my CDs.
No shit.
Oh, really?
He's like, "I'm just going to pretend that I'm mixing."
Oh, no way.
I'm like, "No, we can't do that, dude. We can't do that, man." Just, oh man, no. I'm like, "But it's I know this. We can't. This is something that we. Because it was kind of
it's almost like
to me.
he's stealing
you.
It's
your work.
Well, I don't. That part I don't mind, but it's house music. I wouldn't say that I had the best childhood, but house music helped me get through my life.
Yeah.
At a certain age, and it was that Danny Ramlin CD. There was this Deja, Brighter Days, man, because I was going through some stuff back then, and I would play that on repeat over and over. And you think that tapes warp? Apparently, you can listen to a CD enough times to where
It'll warp.
Well, I don't know if it's warped, but it started to sound different. I guess because I heard it so much that I wouldn't say I wouldn't hear it. I wouldn't hear all of the song and it started sounding different. But
Were you playing it too loud?
no, I wasn't playing it too loud. No.
And it's awesome how music can do those things, though.
Yeah.
You know, help you through things,
Oh man.
get you to where you need to be.
Yeah, asked my mom, she's glad that I'm still around.
Well, we are too.
Yeah. And that's I like to, thank House and my youth minister that actually got me to say it's okay to be me.
Yeah.
Because I was fighting with a lot of identity crisis at that time because, I was a black kid going to all white school. Then I was like, oh, let me transfer. And now I'm a black kid that everyone thought was white going to all
white school. Yeah.
So,
Well, what happened with the guy that wanted to play your mix CD then? So you said no?
No, I just said no. I laid down the law.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
Make your own mix CD, then
You're like, look, I'll play it again right now.
Right, I can do this live for you.
But he was such a nice guy though, and I hate saying no, man. No is one of the words I do not like to say.
Yeah.
That's how we got him on the podcast, actually.
Well, thank goodness. Yeah.
I was saying all other words. Well,
there was a lot of.
And I said, so you're in. So, okay, cool. You're in. Here we go.
Yeah. I couldn't say no. Well, no, I would never say no to y'all anyway because I like what y'all doing, and I stand behind what y'all, which your vision.
Thank you.
So you're saying
it means a lot to us.
You'll play every show we ask you to play from now on?
Wow.
If I can make it, I will. Yeah, I definitely like playing for y'all because y'all understand the creative. You allow creative freedom.
Absolutely.
And you're not a person. You're not like say if I went to I guess was it Electric Circus?
Mm-hmm.
I could play for that crowd, but I would prefer not to play for that crowd. I'm not saying that I think that they're horrible people. They're not horrible people. They're great, but the music that I would play
is not the same.
Is not.
Well, that club
They
has a
wouldn't
built-in
appreciate
sound, though, too.
Yeah.
People go to that club, they expect to hear that style of music.
That's something that also we've lost in Tulsa because what club owners want is they want numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we just want this. We want numbers.
Everybody loves these numbers.
Sell these drinks, have these people there. Yeah.
I'm like, no.
And not the creativity.
Yeah. You're like, you how all the clubs that are, wrote about and talked about long after they're gone are the clubs that, had a vision, they stuck to it, and they were consistent.
Yeah.
Even through the bad numbers, they was like, hey, this is what we believe in, and this is what we're gonna do. And when it pays off, it pays off.
Mm-hmm.
And you become bigger than you ever would have been if you were chasing numbers.
Well, and another weird thing too, if you look at any fad, it was always the guy who did something different.
Yeah.
That created something new and that fueled the whole thing. And so anybody that's against looking at what's popular now and going, okay, I want to do house music again. I want to do something different. And it's scary to go against the grain because you do want to stay afloat. You do want to make money, but it's generally somebody that does something different that makes an impact.
What's that guy's name? What's his name? Everyone loves him. He was here at Cane's a while back. And
Stevie
I was,
Oh my
no,
God.
sorry. That was
again.
from last episode. I'm done. I'm sorry.
It's
Like recently here?
no, some silly name too. Boy Toy or Toy Boy.
Oh yeah, what was that guy?
I know who you're talking about.
He does the mashups of rap on top of indie electronic.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
He did something new, but he really didn't do anything new. He was doing stuff that, hip hop DJs like Danny Phillips was doing forever, and stuff that I would do, but I wouldn't match up no pop song. I would be like, it'd be some other deep house song,
Right.
You'd be like, oh, I thought this was the original, So, and the difference is he had the exposure to to blow up. But I mean, he's really not being innovative. Like, he's not playing anything new, but yet he would bring money. So now all the clubs want that.
Right. Well,
So-
and when I talked about doing something new, it doesn't necessarily mean completely brand new. Like if we were to do, start a house club, like a basic house club here in Tulsa,
You have
it'd
to
be
own it,
new. But it would be new to what's going on right now.
Right.
Like it would, not like what any of that would be new, but it would be new to the fads right now. And could make an impact if somebody just wanted to take a chance. Right.
Well, yeah, this is what you're talking about, taking the chance, because what happened is because of, these big shows, now everyone wants to bring that type of music out.
Mm-hmm.
They say, oh, no, you see, it did so good at Cane's. That's what, and this was also happened. This is what plagued Las Vegas too when I was down there. And like everything was top 40 rap. And it's so insane because like I DJ'd at the Foundation Room at the Mandalay Bay.
Wow.
Sweet girl.
That's nice.
DJing on the, in the main room. And, she was like, dude, I'm not a DJ. I just look pretty and I'm playing popular music. And so, she's making 6 figures.
Wow.
And she'd be the first person to tell you that, she's like, dude, I remember one day I had to take over for her when she went to the bathroom because we hang out when I wasn't DJing in the other room in Shangri-La. And so I was playing her hip hop albums, and I didn't know any of the pop stuff, so I was playing all the old like hip hop, like Beastie Boys and stuff from that and around that era that she had. And being the house DJ that I am, I was blending them, like I was playing them like they were house music.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that
So
would have
she-
been cool to hear. Actually,
So she comes back, and she's standing there, and this has kind of been the story of my life. People just standing there and says, "Go ahead, man."
Yeah.
I'm
Keep
like,
going. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, dude, come on, what are you doing? This is your stuff. Get back. He's like, no, I like hearing you play my music.
Right.
He says, because you're a really good DJ, and apparently that's when I found out she respected and looked up to me, and I was like, she usually had the bigger parties because she was in the main room, and she was fine. I mean, she was I think she won Miss Hawaiian.
Oh wow.
So she was pretty decent. I remember one of the first conversations that we ever had. She has this tattoo on her back, and it says turntablism, and I kind of cracked a joke about it, about her. I was like, "You don't scratch," and she's like, "Yeah, I know," and
that's pretty good.
That's
and
funny.
so
But I can scratch your itch. Right?
Wow.
she's scratching some people's itches for sure,
Yeah.
man. I'm like, dude, Vegas was a monster in itself because, watching her DJ, I it kind of made me feel bad for, what women have to go through as DJs. I mean, because I'm real critical of women in arts, especially when it comes to, comedy. I don't really think pretty women can be funny. Because I'm
Right.
like, where does humor come from? And there's very few women, but like, you have your Roseanne Barrs and some of your, I guess non-attractive women that are just hilarious. And like for this girl, she's not given the benefit of, you kind of suck. You shouldn't be DJing, but because she's hot, she's
Everybody just kind of goes,
You know-
yeah, great job.
yeah, and she's allowed to continue. Not to say that she was she got a lot better, and she became, she's a really nice person, and she deserves everything that she got. But, the opportunities that the way that people looked at it, it's like it's not even about the music for most of the people who come to see you play, and I think it robs her of what a lot of other DJs, hold truth in them, because when someone like the guy that danced on the speaker for me became a best friend,
Right.
she's not gonna be allowed at that experience for the most part, because in Las Vegas, I'm at one of these posh clubs getting drunk, think I can buy the world, and here's this fine DJ. I'm just gonna try and cozy on up to her,
Yes.
and it's not about the music.
She's not getting like a very unbiased feedback either, and
Well, you get shuffled down a different hallway in life.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to say I'm hilarious, but it's not a video podcast. So
No. I'm not saying that women can't be funny.
I'm totally
No,
joking
yeah,
around.
she's
I'm just
fucking
being
with
an
you.
asshole.
I'm just
I'm
saying-
totally joking around.
I just think that
I
it's-
know exactly what you're saying. Though.
Yeah, it's unfair. It's unfair that
Right.
Well,
they can't be people. She can't have the honesty
Right.
that is given to everyone else.
Yeah. No,
Well-
you're absolutely right. That makes sense.
Well, and another thing too, I kind of like to relate that kind of feedback and that kind of false security or whatever, even based on like when you're playing music and stuff and you have your friends around you. It's like getting away from just getting feedback from your friends and getting feedback from people you don't know too,
Yeah.
because your friends are going to tell you you're great, even though you're.
That's why I don't believe nothing that y'all tell me. nothing that came out y'all's mouth. I believe.
We're not even in the numbers you're counting, are we?
No. Nope.
Well, I used to like you.
We used to think you were great.
Now.
Let us tell you what we really think.
It's time for you to go home.
Yeah.
It's you're absolutely right about the biases of your friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I really never thought that I was a great DJ. I still don't think I'm a great DJ. I think that I'm just a DJ that is passionate about what I play.
Yeah.
And
But that should
That's
come
what's important.
But
first.
that's
Yeah,
what makes a
absolutely.
great DJ.
I was fortunate enough to be given the opportunities of playing different cities around the country, and for those crowds to be like, okay, I'm doing right, because I have expectations, and it's hard for me to gauge my expectations in my hometown, not because of my friends, it's more because of the demographic that the music that I play. Actually, the demographic is not here that will help me gauge my expectations correctly. And when I'm in DC, when I'm playing in DC, everyone loved me, and it was a predominantly Ethiopian crowd though, but they loved me, and that's all that mattered.
I wasn't sure how to take that.
Yeah, no, I mean it was a lot of Ethiopians in
So your songs are big in Africa. And
Oh,
when you
yeah.
come
Yeah.
across Ethiopian crowds, you do really well.
do really well. In Dallas, I did really well. Chicago, I did really well. I mean, I do really well everywhere I go.
What was your favorite
Okay.
place to play?
Oh no,
That's a good
such
question.
tough question.
Yeah.
It's looking tough already.
I know.
And
Think about this
No,
one.
my favorite place to ever DJ at was probably Miss Bar in Las Vegas in Treasure Island. Not because it was the biggest bar, it was a posh bar. It was nice. It was clean, and the people that worked there were awesome, and I had the freedom to play what I wanted to play because the guy who ran the bar is from San Francisco, and he loved house music.
Nice.
And he was like, about time we got somebody in here that can play house music. Because Las Vegas, there's a lot of people think Las Vegas is a party town, and it's, you can do all this stuff. But if you like house music, it's hard there because, house music, good house music is only played at like 7 o'clock in the morning
Right.
at Opium. When I was there, is it Opium? I think it's Opium or someplace starts with an O. Out there, and where I would play, because I had, that's another reason why I hated that place, is because I would get people from Baltimore, all over the world, like, oh man, you're the greatest, and oh my god, I couldn't find house here until we ran into you, and I'm like, I get to only know them for like
45 minutes.
not 45 minutes, 2 days,
Right on,
While
right
they're
on.
in town.
yeah, and it's real, it was real depressing.
How long were you there?
I was there for about a year, 2 years.
Damn.
Seems like a long time to be in Vegas.
Yeah.
It
I
is.
mean,
No.
overall. I mean,
My last trip was 5 days, 5 nights, 6 days. And that was
Yeah.
way too much.
It's,
I can't do 2 years.
it's different to live there, man.
I bet.
It's not.
No.
You realize how much Vegas is a small town.
mm-hmm.
Huh.
You weren't there
I've heard
when
that, though.
Deanna was there, were you?
Deanna,
April?
who?
Well, she's a Tulsan now, at least. She learned how to DJ.
Oh,
in Vegas.
Deanna.
Yeah.
Deanna.
You call her Deanna. We Deanna. We are real friends.
You know what? Yeah.
Oh, you don't know her like that.
Yeah.
Do I need to?
Deanna. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what you were talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar with
You
that.
weren't there at the same time as her?
Not sure. No. I mean, but we ran in two different circles. Because you remember she's progressive house.
Yeah.
And I'm deep house. And, you know.
It's a little different.
That's another name we need to get on this show.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be great
She's
to talk to her.
she's, oh, man. I remember when
She's
she
always
found out.
interesting to talk to, yeah.
Yeah. When she found out that I had a album out on Inkfish, she's like, oh my God, I know those guys. I love it. Because, like, they usually do progressive house. The weirdest freaking, what do you call them, the little blurbs that you have whenever you put out music, little descriptions.
The press writing or whatever it is.
The press writing was hilarious on that one. He's like, the guy of a few words, he's like, I would try and talk to him, but he would only leave one word comments. He says, but we don't.
I kind of like
Talking
that,
about
though.
you?
That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
talking about
Yeah,
me. This is on my release. He says, but we're gonna let the music speak for itself.
Nice.
I mean, like, you know, and you know, like, if you look at our little feed, how many?
Oh,
yeah, I'm horrible.
I do like these whole pages that he has to go through, and then he's like,
Right.
a
Yep.
couple of words.
Yeah.
That's it. Cool.
Well, no, I actually agree with that quite a bit, though. Like, being a painter, I would rather let the painting speak for itself than me
Yeah.
tell you what I feel about it
Or
and
how
all
you
this
think
stuff.
we
It's
should
like, look,
see
no,
it.
look, I
Yeah.
made this for people to experience. Don't tell me to tell you how to experience
How to
it.
look at it, right?
And
Yes.
I think the same
Or to
thing goes
listen to
for
it.
music.
Oh,
you know?
man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you probably like this EP Global Communications put out a long time ago. This is probably the most expensive CD I ever bought from Mohawk. It was like $30,
Wow.
and I heard it on EOI early on the ambient morning sessions, and I called in and I asked. I think it was Mother Teresa. I was like, "What is that song that you played at this certain time?" And she was like, she just gave me numbers, literally.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? She says, yeah, that's the name of it. Because the name of the album is the actual number of minutes and seconds the album is.
Oh, wow.
And every track is the number of minutes
The
and
marker.
seconds
Wow.
of
That's,
the,
That's
of the
a
track.
cool
and
idea.
and
Yeah.
they said, we don't want to put any titles to our music because we don't want to bias you before you even hear it.
wow. That's
That's-
really
yeah.
fascinating.
Well, it's
I
kind of
love
like the
Mohawk.
John Cage idea of 343 or 333, whatever that track was, where John Cage was a composer in like 50s, 60s, right?
I always thought he was like on
He-
Mortal Kombat.
Like Johnny Cage.
Right, yeah.
That's my favorite player.
That's another role he played later in life. But he was the composer that was like the artsy guy. And so he has this track that is called 333. It might be 343, but basically it is that amount of time and nothing is written on any of the score. Nothing happens. The actual song is the audience and what they do. He didn't actually write a single thing on it. It was a very conceptual piece.
Wow.
But that happened, I want to say, in like 56 or something like that. You
Wow.
know, so I wonder if it's almost an ode to what he was doing.
I don't know. These Global Communications, they were from the UK. So
Yeah.
Mark Pritchard, you might know him by that name. Mark Pritchard. I can't remember who the other guy is.
Huh.
But you know, you listen to that ambient stuff, and then you listen to what they play now. I mean, they're all over the place.
Yeah.
And that's about the label. What I would like is, you know who Giles Peterson is, right?
Mhm.
That's the music that I want the label to represent is just
The
music.
soul therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah, just music. Yeah, you know, it doesn't matter that it's, you know, whatever. It's good music. I mean, because like you heard that kind of that bossa nova track I did,
Right.
and then I have like this samba track that I'm working on, like this tall samba. Like I worked on it, and it's done. I mean, it's done for the most part, but it's just, you know, it's one of those things that it's done for me. But people are like, well, it needs to change. I'm like, no, it don't.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's it.
you're the one who gets to make that call. But so I'm itching to know, is there a first release date for Soul Therapy yet? Or
I
I was
thought
gonna
he
ask
said,
that
I
too.
thought he
Is
said
it-
January, right? Next
Oh,
year?
no,
Next year. It's going to happen
man,
next year?
It's always
Next
been
year.
always been moved up because
It's always next year.
So
always
next
next year because it's like
Well, we need to rip that Band-Aid off and
I
just
know,
get
right?
that blood flowing.
I
Right.
know.
Let's
Yes,
just do
I need
this.
to. I mean, I need to. I don't want to lock it down because then I'd be like, I got to do it now. So
All the more
But
reason
it,
to
but
be
it needs to
determined.
happen, though. I mean,
I know it
you're going to
does.
sit on them.
Forever.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will.
So let's
You're
get
never
a
gonna be
deadline.
ready.
What do you want to say? January 15th?
I was going December 20th. I don't even know what day
December
that is.
20th.
Hey, my birthday's
Sounds
December
like a
8th.
good
You
one.
can just
Oh, hey,
Watch them
welcome
do it.
another Sagittarius. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So there you go. You got to do it in December now.
Oh, what's your birthday then?
November 27th.
Yeah.
Oh, now y'all can.
So that sounds like
Yeah.
a great day to start
We're
this.
also going to need your social.
I know, right?
And,
We've asking you a lot of personal questions.
we need to get a blood sample too.
Yes,
so
Yeah.
Before
DNA.
you leave, and
We'll be good to broadcast this.
I know, right? Everybody.
And your address.
Yeah.
Where do you live?
Then all my accounts are empty.
Right.
How did this
How the
happen?
hell did this happen?
all I did was do a podcast. And
I should say no to podcasts.
Yeah. There was a reason.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So what are we
That's funny.
looking at there? Like early 2015?
and he's still
Where-
pressing.
I
I know,
kind of want
right?
to know too.
Because
I'm
he's heard the
wondering, like,
music.
I've heard it.
Well,
I know.
I know,
it's
I
I'm
bet
that
about
way.
it's
to.
Like to me, it's like, oh, and to him, it's like, whoa, yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I want to
oh.
hear some of this.
Like, he's
in a
pushing
minute,
on-
but
You want to hear some of it?
yeah, I'm dying to hear it. But now I also want to date too.
Oh, all right.
I
All
know.
right. We can definitely work on that.
11515.
1515.
Oh yeah, 'cause it's
January
2015.
15th, 2015.
How about 15?
Wow.
That's
There's no
impossible.
15th month, and yeah, no.
Is that military time? I don't
We've been
understand those
drinking,
numbers.
Gyasi, but we're not that drunk.
Oh,
I
So,
still don't understand
we
those
can't do
numbers.
that. Yeah.
Well, maybe we
Well,
should call
that would-
Shannon and figure it out. But
Shannon's he'd like, I don't know either.
he's the one that told me next year.
We can put some
Yeah.
pressure on somebody. Come on.
But he
We'll
was
just keep
also the
doing it.
one telling me that you guys are sitting on tracks
We are.
so that you have enough releases for a full year before you actually start.
Yeah. Well,
Is that the
we've,
idea?
No, we've been having that.
And
Yeah, I
and
was
so
gonna say.
now just fucking unload it. Like they're great fucking tracks. I've heard at least a handful, and you need to let it out, man. Like,
oh man,
Mhm.
get it out there. Enjoy the hate comments. Enjoy the love comments. It's gonna work.
Well, I'll
Yeah.
tell you.
Oh no.
I'll tell you
no,
about one of the experiences that Louis Vega signed off on one of our tracks. Talking about it was good, and he said the only thing we would change is a little bit of the bass. I would lower it a little bit. I was like, oh, that's just preference. Fuck that shit.
Yeah,
That's the way we wanted it.
Yeah.
But the
Right.
fact that he signed off on the rest of the track was, I mean, it meant a lot to us. And I guess at that point, I was like, I'm done. Mic drop.
And
no,
out.
just keep it going.
I love that.
You have a good thing going, and don't hide it away from all of us.
I just, but you,
I don't want to go through your files.
People need to hear this. People need to hear
I
this
need
music.
to hear
later.
this.
Yeah.
Now you're
Yeah,
building it up,
it
and
needs
then
to
when
be
it
done.
comes out, people are like, this is
No.
what they were talking about? No.
Oh no way. That won't
Okay.
happen.
Drop it like it. I mean, it's it's always.
I just have to ask, just because we're throwing all this out here, is there one track that you're okay with that we could sneak peek it, that we could throw it out there on Bassline, give people a sneak peek of what's coming?
Yeah, I can sneak peek a track that is never gonna be released.
That's even better.
Yeah,
Well, that's
way
even great
better.
too. But
Yeah.
at least give them an opportunity to see. Because we've been talking with you about the production and stuff like that, and talking about soul therapy. It'd be kind of cool to give them a little flavor of what it's going to be. You know,
I can't put the whole track out there because it's I got permission from the artist who sung it to. She says, do whatever you want with it. She says, but you just can't release it.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Well, can we take what I was asking? Can we just take one of another one of your tracks? Can we release one of them just on YouTube, just to kind of go, here's soul therapy, here's what's coming, here's some Gyasi.
Now that's
Is-
putting you
is-
on the spot.
I know. That's what
I
I'm
know.
saying. Like I was kind of.
That's what
He
she
already
was
said.
mourning.
He already said
Yeah.
he can't say no. Why are you doing this, Tim?
Yeah,
Justin,
I know,
take
right?
it easy. He's using.
Well,
Yeah.
well, my thought was because I know you as a musician, as an artist, and I know you're incredible, and I know that you're kind of stepping back, going, I'm not ready to do this, but I kind of feel that if we could put a track out there and you could kind of hear and see the response that's coming out of it, it might help you to kind of get closer to this goal of saying, let's do this.
Well, and another reason
What a
why,
bold idea.
yeah, for real.
Yeah,
I know,
right?
I know,
You're
I
like,
know.
wow.
Yeah, I
He
know.
said he liked numbers, but take it easy.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I'm so hesitant is because my music is never complete.
No, I know.
And
As a songwriter, I definitely know that one.
right now my biggest issue is because I can't sing. You hear this voice, and that's what I want for my music is I want someone to sing, because like that Sudanese track that I played for you, the one that I can't release. Sounds awesome because there was someone singing over it, and it works with the music that I make. It makes it full, because I'm not saying that my music is empty, I guess. I mean, I would never say it's not that. It's just that it's me, simple and very, very, consistent.
Do you write the music in a way that you would want to DJ these things together, and you like the overlap of different tracks?
No, and I do make them like I DJ though.
Yeah.
It's very layered. I mean, like it's like I don't do a lot of changes. I definitely don't do key change. I can do key change, and it's weird because I can do it. But
do you
I choose
do
not
like
to
one-offs? Like just like every 32 or 64 bars, you do a one-off.
Actually, you know what? I might give you Bethlehem, because you did like that song.
Right on.
He's like, I want to hear that more, and I'm like.
Well, the other point that I was going to make is it is different when you write a track and you're putting it out there, and there's a piece of you in it, and all I want to say is you're definitely a harder critic on it, because and you're looking at, you want a vocalist to come in, maybe they're going to outshine you, people are going to be more focused on the vocals and not listen to the part of you that put behind it, and I think you just need to put yourself out there. I think that you would get great feedback.
I mean, I definitely will work either with or without, but I think I know that the music will be better with lyrics, because.
But it's some of that because.
Are you looking for a female
because you're
vocalist?
downplaying your own stuff? Is what I'm asking.
Matter.
It doesn't matter.
What I'm asking is, are you feeling more towards that because you're downplaying your own stuff?
No, because the music that was most important to me was music with like I was saying earlier,
vocals.
There was that Deja track, Brighter Days, that changed, helped me through a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And so whenever I do put out stuff, that's my reference.
Yeah.
And and some of my favorite tracks, like there was this Victor Duplay and Clara Hill track that I love a lot, and it's just the simplest beat, but the way that they sung over it, just my music can make them. Because it's not that my music is not good, it's just that what my music can inspire in verse.
Right.
Is what it's actually supposed to be.
Right. And that's what I was just trying to get to the bottom of, because I do that as a songwriter. I don't think it's if it's, especially if it's just me creating it, I don't think it's good enough. And so that's my reflection into it, and I was kind of seeing if that's where you were with things. But and that's kind of interesting thing too between me and Milo, is I'm very lyric vocal driven, and he's just like meh.
Yeah.
And that's
I don't hear what people say when lyrics are given to me in a song. I hear the timbre of their voices, and I hear the notes they hit, and it definitely has a very moving impact on me, because I can make vocal sounds too, so I can connect with that whether or not I play an instrument.
So
I can make vocal sounds. That doesn't mean it's going to be entertaining to anyone.
So he's going to sing, was it in Somalian?
I mean, I know.
On Sim
Right,
Cities.
but I mean, just the fact that a vocal is in a song, I feel like is a connector to an audience more than instruments being in a song, because of, like, we all have vocals and we all know how difficult they are to control and to be so beautiful with. And so I feel like it's a really relative part to most of your audience, because most of your audience probably doesn't play any instrument.
Right. Yeah. But they can sing that song. They can sing that hook.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But
and even if they don't know what the words are or what they mean,
Right.
they can still kind of fumble a lot.
Yeah.
But though, like, everybody has emotions, and if you put the words in the right order in a certain way, and you say something, and it just hits home, and it's just
That's
crushing.
true, too.
It's amazing when somebody just says the right
That's-
thing the right way.
I'm not a content-based person. Sorry, Justin.
Well, I mean,
I'm
that's how we differ.
content driven myself.
everybody. I mean, even
I
though
mean,
you're
to
not
some
content, your
extent.
content just happens to not be
It's a
vocal.
They're not
different
big
kind of
vocals, but it could be
content.
with the music.
It's not the words, it's the tones.
All right. Well, we've almost gone 90 minutes. We need to wrap this up.
90
So
minutes.
Yeah.
soul
It was
therapy.
nothing. It
Well-
was not harmless. Nothing.
Yeah.
I
Easy.
know, I'm gonna go home and throw up.
Well, we can talk longer if you
Well-
want.
Oh man,
This
this
is
is
going
Well-
so well.
Before we get off here, where can people find your stuff? Like, what websites are you on? How do they find you?
I took most of my stuff, my original stuff, down off of SoundCloud. So I mean, if they want to go hear my original stuff, then good luck. They can hear my edits though,
Okay.
because I do leave up my edits for the simple fact that I'm never going to sell them.
What's the SoundCloud page then?
It's my name,
Just-
Gyasi.
okay.
I think so. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I'll
Gyasi
find
Sanders.
I'll find
We'll
them
find
and
it.
I'll put it on.
Gyasi, yeah, it's under my name. Definitely, you can if you search for me, you'll find me. It's
All right. So you've got SoundCloud. Do you have anything else? Do you have any mixes anywhere? Do you have?
Mixcloud.
Mixcloud? No.
You've got
No.
to personally know him to hear anything.
Exactly.
At this
That's
point.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I
I'm
need you to
picking this
work.
up. I
need
hear
you
this.
to work.
We'll go to the
Yeah.
car in a second, but
I'm on
January
my way
15th.
to the car.
January 15th.
That's
well, I mean,
your-
we can listen to it in
2015.
here.
I was just joking around. We're listening to it in here off air.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, January 15th, 2015.
And somebody
Soul
distract him.
Therapy
I'm gonna steal his
is
tracks.
first
Yeah.
release, right?
That would be a
Oh,
great
what?
date.
Quote me on that.
All right. Well.
January
let's just-
15th, 2015.
I didn't say I couldn't say can't.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
All
Yeah,
right,
that's
well,
true.
well, let's just say this. When you guys are ready, let's try to get you and Shannon both back on the
Oh,
podcast.
yeah, you definitely need to get Shannon in here.
That would
and,
be
Oh,
fun.
yeah, we're going to anyway.
Another
but-
person that you might want to talk to is Aaron Bernard, because he'll actually give you a little bit of insight of, because he DJs, radio DJ also.
Yeah.
And he's from New York, and I think that he actually, he did live around the time that Larry Levan and stuff was doing stuff, but I don't know if he
Badass.
frequent that, but he can tell you more about the New York era
Okay.
and then Shannon can tell you more about the Chicago era.
Yeah.
At the
Well,
same
I would
time.
love to see Shannon and you here together sometime.
Well, that's
too.
what I'm saying. Like when you guys
Yeah,
are
when they're
ready,
ready
to
to-
do like the whole label thing, let's get you both in on the podcast and let's
That would be fun.
do it for the release and stuff. That'd be
Mhm.
Yeah, it'd
great.
be mostly him talking, right?
Well, we don't know
we
yet.
sitting here
We're
like-
talking a lot today.
As long as someone's talking, it's good.
As long as we don't have dead air, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. No, well,
That's the
see, I
thing.
mean,
Yeah.
we always can go back to our Grand Theft Autos and stuff
Oh
like
my
that.
gosh, we've
And
got
we
all kinds of
should. We
filler with
definitely
that.
should.
And,
We'll talk about that more off air as well.
Oh my God!
I
yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Because I love it.
Yep. I gave Shannon my PS3 just so he can play tunes.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, because
You did it.
Fucking said it.
I know.
God damn it! I've been trying not to say it.
what? That's hilarious.
He
Yeah,
does it all
that's
the time. He'll
They-
say, "That's hilarious," but then normally he won't laugh, and we're like, "That's not
Say it with
that
such a
funny
straight
because
face.
you're not laughing."
They busted me on it, so I've
That's
been
some-
trying to catch it, not say it.
There was
So
a
now I
YouTube
just say
video
that's
about
funny.
it. Yeah, that's a YouTube video about that exact same thing.
Really?
Yes, it's
Oh, great.
hilarious, and no one's laughing.
And no one's laughing. So we
No
gotta
one's
look this.
laughing.
That's exactly what he does. So we've been giving him a hard time.
Yeah.
Well, Gyasi,
Let's
thanks for
kill
coming
this.
out
Yes.
today. We
Man,
had
this
a
is-
killer time.
Yeah,
This
Thanks
is probably
for-
the most fun I like this better than I like DJing.
What
That's a
about?
compliment.
Do you
back
like
on
it
then.
better than you like video games?
Oh no.
But he's
Well,
gonna
I stopped playing video games to come over here.
Oh,
Oh.
that's true. Yeah, because tonight's tonight. So
Yeah. So no, I like DJing.
So you're
I
saying we
like,
got lucky?
No.
no.
not at all. He's saying that
I like-
he was just kind enough to grace
This
us
is the
with
type
his
of
presence.
mixing I like. DJing I like is
Yeah.
blending ideas and just talking and getting to know one another, because
That's what it's
who
about.
are we without each other?
No,
True.
it's true.
And everybody's got
Good point.
something
True.
something to teach you, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what I always like doing. You've got to talk to as many people as possible to learn as much as you can about life.
Yeah, I'm awesome. I already knew that, but
Yeah.
I don't need you to tell me.
I need to
But
hear
I
shit
just
from you,
did.
Justin. I know you didn't.
All right, let's get out of here. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks.
All right, thank you.